ready for this? Angela Rayner's housing quango has spent nearly £250,000 on expenses for directors on things like luxury travel. Directors at Homes for England have spent more than £240,000 on hospitality, food and accommodation for themselves. The revelation comes after Chancellor Rachel Reeves allocated £39 billion for affordable and social housing over the next 10 years in the spending review. Homes England, which was set up in 2018 to fund more affordable housing across England, will distribute 70% of this. A lot of money. The quango defends the spending as necessary for executives who travel for work and said that there are strict approval processes in place. Yeah, I bet there are. Anyway, Joanna Marchong, Investigations Campaign Manager for the Taxpayers Alliance, which obtained all this data through a Freedom of Information request, says taxpayers will be dismayed that Homes England bureaucrats are raking up more expenses. This is a clear example of runaway quangos rather than supporting the government's new housing building policies. They are piling on extra costs to construction companies making new homes. If Labour want any chance of hitting their housing targets, ministers must get a grip on Homes England and focus on getting spades in the ground, not bums in beds. I put that bit in. The figures were disclosed in a Freedom of Information release by the quango, which is overseen by ministers. It raises most of its fees in levies. All of the quangos... helicopter, sounds like a big one. Sorry about that. It raises most of its fees and levies whilst getting government funds to tax and taxpayers, so the taxpayer is paying twice. This is madness. Of the £240,000 expense figures racked up in 2021 to 24, £152,000 was spent on travel, £70,000 was spent on subsistence, much of it understood to be food for employees. Homes England staff working away from their normal office location for more than 4 hours are entitled to buy meals on expenses. Now, what you've got to remember is this is a quango. This is another Tony Blair idea where these people just run up costs. We're in a recession really. Let's not kid ourselves. Cost of living's through the roof, and these people are buying whatever they want. I got a message from someone who said somebody spent £17 on sushi for lunch. One of these people working for this outfit allegedly spent £17. One meal. Where is the £17 worth of sushi? They haven't even cooked it. But then let's add this spending that Angela Rayner's gaff has racked up to things like one day's entertainment for some dignitaries by David Lammy, spending £7,000. £7,000 on biscuits and teas, specialty teas. Thai food, I've heard of Thai food. I'm sorry, but they're supposed to be socialists. Aren't they supposed to be equaling things out? A bit like communists. Well, they are communists. So let's not forget today is the state visit of Monsieur le Petit Prince Macron is coming in his little Cuban ears with his mother that he married earlier when he was at school. Anyway, he's having a state visit into, and apparently he's been telling people not to take the mickey out of his beautiful wife. Did she clobber him in a plane? Oh, that bash, bash, bash. Oh, the cameras are on. You can't take these comedians seriously. They're not proper people. I sometimes wonder if aliens aren't in charge and, you know, the mothership just dropped off a few and said, right, they're all bonkers down on Earth, just sort the buggers out. Take what you want. I'm sure something like that's gone on. Don't say that, you'll be calling me David Icke next, although he did get so much right. He's a bit scary as that fella. Anyway, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron were greeted by the Prince and Princess of Wales and I have no control. It really is like the Hunger Games. They've had a glittering banquet at Windsor Castle talking bollocks about how the French are going to work so closely with England and Britain on stopping the migrants. It would be easy enough to stop them. Just tell them they can't claim asylum when they come. Just stop it. Cause an international incident. Cause a diplomatic feud. do whatever it takes to stop the boats. The saddest thing of all, of course, is that the fact that the visa system is so out of date and badly managed that we get nearly as many staying in this country from the visa system. They come over with students, extended family members that never go home. That's as bad. I mean, we can physically see what's happening with the channel, but you don't notice what's happening with this visa problem. And that could be sorted out immediately. That could be done literally at the stroke of a pen. It's so frustrating to see this charade, this theatre that goes on in Parliament. Oh, you know, we're going to try and stop the boats. No, they're not doing anything. They could do so much more. The facilities are there. The legislation is already in place, it just isn't being used. And that's the most frustrating part about all this. The facilities are there, and all you really need to do is do what Trump does. Tariff France. Tariff France on cheese, wine, foreign holidays. Tariff them. If you're going to book a holiday to France, put an extra tariff on. They were quick enough to do everything during lockdown, weren't they? Creating fines and laws that weren't legal, but still cripple people's businesses. So why can't they do this? Why can't they just get on with something and do whatever it takes? We buy an awful lot of French wine and cheeses. We buy their cars. We actually buy helicopter parts. Put tariffs on. Put tariffs on. They'll soon wake up, all the French. They'll stop it because they've got more police than us. They've got 2 different types of police forces. And there isn't a willingness to do it because they use us like Rwanda. We are their Rwanda, except we're free and we're paying them. We don't cost anything for them to allow dinghies to come across, and pop in a few for the cameras. That's not going to stop it. That's why there's a big attraction to me to the party I support, because they'd do away with all these quangos. The quangos that have basically been set up to bypass government. They bypass legislation and get on with what they want to do. And these non-government organisations are responsible for an awful lot of immigration problems. You've seen them, you've all seen the videos where the migrants are there at sea, off the coast of Italy, off the coast of France, having their mobile phones collected in plastic bags. So they've all got them till the point of disembarkation. So there's your mobile phone with your life in it, you know what it's like. Why are they taking them off them? Why do they take them off them to then hand out new ones? Because they're shielding the identity of people, because a lot of them wouldn't qualify for asylum. And it's that simple. Your government, our government, the French government, the NGOs behind the governments are all part of the problem. And until you get a change from this 2-party system, you're not going to stop anything, because both parties are culpable of where we sit today. All the laws and legislations that are in from the Tories, and it's the Tories' reluctance to have addressed leaving the ECHR before now. We should have left the ECHR when we left Europe. It's an outdated model. It was designed to stop tyranny after Germany lost the Second World War. It needs updating, it needs scrapping and starting again. And things have moved on in such a dynamic way to protect people that it's redundant. It's completely redundant and abused. You know, terrorists in caves over in Pakistan were texting British lawyers, human rights lawyers that'd be working with our taxpayers' money to sort out legal representation for if they got caught. I mean, that's been witnessed. So the whole thing needs sorting out, the politicisation of the judiciary, and the way that legislation that is in place has been ignored. So don't ever think you've got this wrong, the way you're viewing what's going on with immigration. You haven't got it wrong. With the frustration that you feel like that because you know damn well that the facility to put it right, make it better, has been ignored for at least, well, it's been created, it's been made worse by Tony Blair. And the Tories have done nothing, not one thing to put it right. They've allowed it to escalate. So they're very much part of the problem. You cannot trust the Tories. No matter who leads them eventually, no matter how appealing they may be, like Robert Jenrick, They're not going to change anything. 14 years is more than long enough to make out whether or not you're going to do something for Britain. They still see us as part of a wider community, the European Union, which is the European arm of the globalist movement. No thank you. We've rejected it time and time again. The thing that they never anticipated, though, you've got to remember when they've had all this going on, the Kudanoff-Kalergi plan and the drip feeding of it being escalated in 2015 with the migrant crisis, the one thing they didn't anticipate us using social media to spread the word, and they never anticipated how fast it would be. And once Elon Musk came back onto Twitter and Trump got in the White House, Zuckerberg's had to wind his neck in quite a bit on Facebook. And of course, it's a free-for-all on Twitter now, a bit like a bloody boxing ring. But at least you can say your piece. Whereas before, the other owners, you'd no chance if you had our form of politics. So they didn't expect this pushback. They didn't expect us to inform each other and us to withdraw our support for all these directives that they keep laying on us. So keep going, because it's actually working. We're pushing back so fast. They've struck out too soon, haven't they? They've tried to get hold of us through digital passports, digital health passports, and it's taken them longer and longer and longer. Even the guy that devised a central bank digital currency at the Bank of England says it's not going to work. So keep at it. We can't afford to go to sleep on the job. We have to keep fighting and moving forward.